Principles of man-made fiber spinning technology. Okay, so man-made fibers are manufactured by spinning the polymer. So there are three major types of spinning process are available. Okay, so in order to produce filament fibers, so already we might be discussed what do you mean by staple fiber and what do you mean by filament fiber. Filament fiber in the sense it has continuous in length, okay, indefinite in length, then you can call it as a filament. So where you can get this type of filament fibers? In terms of only man-made spinning technology, like mill spinning technology, then dry spinning technology, then wet spinning technology, then gel spinning technology. So there are spinning technologies are available to produce synthetic fibers, that is 100% synthetic fibers. Okay, so basically if you look at the slide you can see there are three spinning process. One is melt spinning. Melt spinning, it is used for polymers that can be melted easily. Okay, suppose you take polyester, example for melt spinning is polyester fiber. Polyester fiber is having a melting point. So you can produce the fiber by using melt spinning technology. You take viscose rayon. Viscose rayon is a regenerated fiber, but if you look at the melting point of the viscose rayon, no. The viscose rayon doesn't have any melting point. Okay. Then you may not choose melt spinning technology for the production of viscose rayon fiber. Only you have to go for either dry spinning technology or you can go for wet spinning technology. So one more very important point you have to keep it in your mind. So whenever you choose a melt spinning technology for the production of filament fiber, what you have to keep it in your mind? The fiber should have melting temperature. Melting temperature, how the melting temperature should be? The melting temperature should be below the degradation temperature of that particular polymer. Okay, suppose if you choose a polymer having higher melting point, that is higher than the degradation temperature. If the melting point is higher than the degradation temperature, what will happen? So before melting, the polymer it starts degrading. So in that situation, you may not be in a position to produce filament out of the polymer because the fiber starts degrading before it starts melting. So whenever you choose a polymer for the production of filament, so you have to keep it in your mind. The melt spinning should, the melting point of the polymer should be below the degradation, sorry, it should be below the degradation temperature. Okay. So the degradation temperature of the polymer, how it should? It should above the melting point of that polymer. Then only you can go for melt spinning technology. So those polymers doesn't have any melting point, then you have to undergo either dry spinning technology or wet spinning technology for the production of filament. So coming to the second point, dry spinning technology. It involves dissolving the polymer into a solution that can be evaporated. Okay. So first of all, you have to produce the polymer chips. Whatever may be the spinning technology, you have to produce the polymer chips. Okay. இதுக்கு தமிழ்லயே நான் சொல்றேன் சிம்பிள் எக்ஸாம்பிள். நம்ம வீட்லயெல்லாம் வந்து இந்த இடியாப்பம் செய்வாங்க, பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? ஸோ இடியாப்பம் செய்யறதுக்கு நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணணும்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் யூ ஹேவ் டு ப்ரிப்பேர் இட்லி. ஸோ இட்லி ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிவிட்டு நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? வி ஹேவ் டு புட் இட் இன் டு எ மெஷின். தென் யூஆர் ஸ்ட்ரைட், நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? ஒரு ஸ்க்ரூ மாதிரி இருக்கும், அதை வச்சு நான் ஹை ப்ரெஷரில் சுற்றுவீங்க. ஸோ அப்போ சுற்றுறப்ப என்ன ஆகுது? இந்த நூடுல்ஸ் மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு, அதுக்கு பேர் சந்தவைன்னு சொல்லலாம், அல்லது இன்னொரு பக்கம் அது என்னது, இடியாப்பம். ஸோ இடியாப்பம் வந்து வெளியில் வரும் லைக் உங்கள் நூடுல்ஸ் மாதிரி. ஸோ அதுக்கு நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் என்ன ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும்? இட்லி. So இங்க நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா, the right example here is you have to prepare polymer chips. Whatever may be the spinning technology, whether it may be a mill spinning technology or dry spinning technology or wet spinning technology, first you have to prepare polymer chips. The polymer in the form of chips. So the polymer which is having melting point, you can go for mill spinning technology for the production of filament. If the polymer doesn't have any melting point, you can go for dry spinning or either you can go for wet spinning. So this is a simple technique involved in the production of filament fibers. Okay. So the second one is dry spinning. Dry spinning தான் நம்ம இப்போ நான் சொன்ன simple technique like உங்களோட சந்தவைன்னு சொல்லலாம் அல்லது இடியாப்பம். Okay. So it involves dissolving the polymer into a solution that can be evaporated. So நம்ம வந்து polymer என்ன பண்ணிக்கிறோம், we have to dissolve it in a solvent. Then after making into a filament, then we are evaporating the solvent present in the filament. I will show you video, okay, at the end of this lecture. Then you will come to know clearly how the mill spinning takes place, how the dry spinning takes place, how the wet spinning takes place. Don't worry, I will show you the videos, okay. The third one is wet spinning technology. So wet spinning technology, it is used when the solvent cannot be evaporated. Sometimes, see, you have to dissolve the polymer chips in a particular solvent. Sometimes what will happen, the solvent may not be evaporated. So it is very difficult to evaporate the solvent. Okay. So in that situation, what you have to do, you have to select wet spinning technology for the production of filament. Okay. Clear up, Puridama? Please tell me, anyone, yes, sir. Is it clear, audible?
Yes, sir, audible. Yes, sir, audible.
Okay. See, there are 3 spinning technology I told you. First of all, the main step is you have to prepare polymer in the form of chips. The polymer which is having melting point, how the melting point should be? The melting point should be below the degradation temperature of that polymer. So in that situation, you can go for mill spinning technology for the production of filament. Suppose if the polymer doesn't have any melting point, then either you can go for dry spinning technology for the production of filament, or you can go for wet spinning technology for the production of filament. So there are 2 spinning technologies are available if the polymer doesn't have melting point. So again, see, if you are dissolving the polymer in a particular solvent, sometimes the solvent may not be evaporated. That is, it is very difficult to evaporate the solvent. Then in that situation, what type of spinning technology you have to select for the production of filament? You have to select wet spinning technology for the production of filament fibers. Okay. Suppose if the solvent is easily evaporated, then you can go for dry spinning technology for the production of filament fibers. Okay. Okay. Now let us discuss one by one. So please look at the slide. The first one is mill spinning technology. See, the polymer melts, that is the polymer pellets, or you can call it as polymer chips, or you can call it as polymer pellets or granules. Okay. Are fed into an extruder, consist of a screw for melting by means of heat, and then the polymer melt is pumped through a spinnerate under pressure. Okay. Similar to your in the noodles prepare பண்ற மாதிரி தான். Okay. So நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க அப்படின்னா, in order to prepare noodles or you have to prepare சந்தவை, அதுக்கு என்ன பண்றோம், first of all அந்த இட்லியை prepare பண்ணிட்டு அந்த இட்லி என்ன பண்றோம், we are making into a very small pieces. So அதை என்ன பண்றோம், we are feeding into a machine. அந்த machine விட்டுட்டு நம்ம we are rotating at the top, simultaneously you are giving pressure. இங்கே அதே தான் பண்றோம், the same technique. Polymer pellets or granules are fed into an extruder, consist of a screw for melting by means of heating. So you are injecting heating, so then only the polymer will start melting. So as soon as the polymer melts, what will happen? the polymer melt is pumped through a spinnerate under pressure. See, please look at here, you are feeding the polymer chips. Okay, once the polymer chips is fed into this chamber, you are what you are doing here, you are heating the polymer chips. Once the polymer reaches the melting point, what will happen? It starts melting. So the solid form of the polymer is converted into a liquid form. So by means of a gear pump, what will happen? It will comes here. Then here the liquid type of polymer is filtered. Okay, sometimes the polymer may have some minute impurities. So we have to filter it out. So after filtering, what will happen? By means of heavy pressure, here this is a spinnerate. Spinnerate is nothing but it consists of very minute holes. Okay, the holes may be either in circular in cross section or it may be elliptical in cross section. It depends upon the type of fiber you want to produce. Okay, I will tell you why the fiber is having circular in cross section, why we have to produce the fiber in elliptical in cross section or sometimes dog bone in cross section. Okay, so if you change the cross section of the fiber, definitely the fiber property will vary. Those things I will be discussing in the forthcoming classes. Okay, then see, the polymers are coming out as a filament form. Okay, from the spinnerate. Then you have to subject the cool air into the filament, because already we have heated the polymer in the heating plate. Depends upon the melting point of the polymer. You take polyester fiber is having 250 degrees Celsius. The melting point of the polyester fiber is 250 degrees Celsius. So in order to melt the polyester fiber, what temperature you have to keep it in the heating plate? Nearly 260 degrees Celsius you have to keep. Then only the polymer will completely melt. Okay, the complete melting of the polymer takes place at 260 degrees Celsius. See, if you look at the temperature of the filament which is coming out of the spinnerate is 250 degrees Celsius or 260 degrees Celsius. So you have to pass the cooling air in order to solidify the filament. Okay, in order to make it into a solidified form, so you have to pass the cooling air into the filament. Then the filaments are combined here, then it is rolled, then again this is a guide roller, then you can wind it on a winder or you can wind it on a bobbin. Here you have to give stretching. Okay, you can keep many number of rollers. Here in schematic representation I have only shown only 2 rollers. But when you look at the actual spinning machine, melt spinning machine, there are many rollers are available. Why we have to keep many rollers? These rollers, the main purpose of the rollers is stretching the filament. Okay, why we have to give stretching? In order to make the polymer orientation. I already told you in the beginning, there are 3 terms are available. One is amorphous region, crystalline region, the third one is orientation. Okay. So in order to get high crystalline region and in order to get more orientation, we have to stretch the filament. Okay, we have to stretch the filament in these drawing rollers. So after stretching, then you can wind it on the winding bobbin. Okay, so this is how the melt spinning process has been taking place. So coming to the main point, so the polymer pellets or granules are fed into an extruder, consist of a screw for melting by means of heat, and then the polymer melt is pumped through a spinnerate under pressure. The extruded polymer is then quenched. Quenched is nothing but with cold air. Okay, here we are using cold air for the quenching process. That is to cooling down the filaments. Okay, what is meant by quenching? To remove the or to reduce the temperature of the filament. Okay, by passing the cold air. And then the molten mass is solidified. Okay, here the molten mass is getting solidified into a filament form. Okay, so in melt spinning process, the polymer is heated and it melts to form a liquid spinning or you can call it as solution or dope form. The chips of polymers are fed into the hopper, which is heated. This is a grid, okay, at the base, which permits only the molten liquid to pass through. In this, here it is a filter. ஓகே, நம்ம வீட்லையெல்லாம் வந்து கோதுமை மாவோ இல்லை ஏதாவது அந்த மாதிரி மாவு வாங்கிட்டு வந்தால் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், நம்ம போட்டு ஃபில்டர் பண்ணுவோம். தட் இஸ் சலடை போட்டு செலிக்கிறோம் இல்லையா. வாட் இஸ் த பர்பஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபில்டர்? It will remove the impurities. Similarly, here also you are removing the impurities present in the molten polymer. Then the solution is purified by means of filter. The molten polymer is extruded at a high pressure at constant rate through a spinnerate to a relatively cooled air stream. Then it solidifies the filaments. Finally, the filament yarns are either immediately wounded onto bobbin, or it is further treated with some other finishing agent depending upon the end use. Okay. See, after in the filament form ஆகி இங்கே வெளியில் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் you have to stretch the filament by means of these drawing rollers. After stretching process, either you can directly wind the filaments onto the winding bobbin, or the filaments can be treated with some other finishing agents. Depends upon the end use of the material. Then coming to the examples. So which are all the fibers are produced under melt spinning process? Melt spinning is used for the production of polyester. Okay, melt spinning is used for the production of polyester, nylon, then olefin fiber and glass fibers. So these fibers are produced under melt spinning technology. Okay, then now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of melt spinning technology. See, the speed. Okay, the production speed is 275 to 1500 yards per minute. I am talking about the winding speed of this. Okay, so the winding speed, either you can go for 1500 yards per minute, or you can go for still higher, that is 4000 yards. Of the melt spinning process. Okay, you can clearly see the slides. Heating plate, then gear pump, filtering, spinnerate, cooled air. Okay, cooling air has to be passed in order to solidify the material. Okay, so these are all the two schematic representation. See, I told you, after drawing process you can directly wind it onto a bobbin, or depending upon the end use, either you can give spin finish to the material. Okay, then you can solidify and then you can wind it onto the bobbin. Now I'll be coming to the next spinning technology is dry spinning. So dry spinning is the fiber formation process that transforms a high vapor pressure polymer solution into a solid fiber by controlled fiber evaporation in the spinning line. So the key variable in dry spinnings are heat transfer, mass transfer and stress on the filaments. So these are all the variables during the preparation of the filaments. Okay, these are all key variables. One is heat transfer, the second one is mass transfer, the third one is stress on the filament. The spinning fiber reaches its final velocity or the final denier when the stress applied to the spinning filament is no longer sufficient to draw the fiber to a smaller diameter. So I told you at the beginning, finer, that is longer the fiber and finer the fiber, what will be the yarn? Your yarn will be very fine in quality. Similarly, your yarn will be very high tensile strength. Okay, but in this case of filament fiber manufacturing, how to produce fine filaments? Only you have to extend the draw ratio. Draw ratio means you have to increase the stretch ratio. Okay, suppose if you are stretching the filament 1%, then the diameter will get reduced. Again, if you still prolonged the stretching process, what will happen? The diameter of the fiber is getting again reduced. 2% stretch or 3% stretch, or you can go up to 10 to 15% stretch. Again, it depends upon the viscosity of the filament. Okay. So, sir solitaire, we can stretch the filament up to 100%. Then you can get 100% finer diameter of the filament. Again, it depends upon the viscosity of the fiber. Level if you prolonged the stretching process, what will happen? The filament will start breaking. Okay. So the stretching process should be limited. It depends upon the viscosity of the filament. Then coming to the spinning fiber reaches its final denier when the stress applied to the spinning filament is no longer sufficient to draw the fiber to a smaller diameter. Okay. So in dry spinning, a volatile solvent is used to dissolve the raw material to form a solution. So what type of solvent you have to prefer for the dissolution purpose? You have to use volatile solvent. Okay. Then the solution is purified by means of filter. So after filtering the solution, what will happen? The solution is extruded through a spinneret into a warm air chamber where the solvent is getting evaporated. Once the solvent is getting evaporated, what will happen? It solidifies the fine filament. Please compare the solidifying process. How the filaments are solidifying in dry spinning technology. Just we are evaporating the solvent present in the filament. Whereas in case of melt spinning technology, how we have solidified the filament? We have passed the cooling air into the filament, so thereby the filaments are get solidified. Okay. So only just you have to compare while teaching the dry spinning technology how the melt spinning technology has been taking place. Okay, each and every parameter. So how the polymer melts takes place? So we have heated the polymer in case of melt spinning. But here how we are making the polymer into solution? We are using solvent. Okay. So we are dissolving the polymer and making into a solution form. Then it is filtered out by means of filter. So once the solution is filtered, then it is extruded through a spinneret, okay, into a warm air chamber. Then where the solvent is getting evaporated. Once the solvent is getting evaporated, what will happen? The fibers are getting solidified. Okay. Finally, the filament yarn, either it is immediately wounded onto a bobbin or it is further treated with some other finishing agent. Either you can go for any sort of finish. Again, it depends upon the end use of the fiber. So the examples here, the dry spinning is used in the production of acetate rayon, triacetate rayon, to some extent acrylic fiber, mod acrylic fiber, spandex rayon, okay, then PVC, PVA fibers. So these are all the fibers you can produce under dry spinning technology. Now coming to the advantages. Yarn does not require purification. Again, here also the purification process is not at all necessary. Okay. Then disadvantages. Flammable solvent causes hazard. Yes. So I told you in the beginning, so you have to choose a volatile solvent. Suppose if the solvent is having flammability property, okay, what will happen? Then you will end up with some problem while preparing the filament process. The solvent will catch fire, then the process will totally collapse. Okay. Then solvent recovery also it is possible. So whatever the solvent you are used for the dissolution purpose, okay, for the dissolution of the polymer, you can recover the solvent, you can reuse it for second time or you can use it for third time. Because nowadays recovery, reuse and recycle, this is very important. So you can recover the solvent, then you can reuse the solvent. See the spinning speed Please look at the slide. The spinning speed is 200 to 400 yards per minute. Whereas in case of mill spinning, 1500 yards per minute, or even you can go up to 4000 yards per minute. Please look at the production speed, or you can call it as a winding speed. So when compared to the mill spinning, the production is very low in case of dry spinning technology. Okay, is it clear? Purinjida? So now please look at the slide. This is the schematic representation of the dry spinning process. Here the polymer is in the form of solution. Again it comes into the metering pump. Then warm air is you are passing into for the solidification process, for the evaporation of solvent present in the filament. So here this is the spinneret. The polymer in the form of solution is coming out as a filament. Then the drawing process. Either you can call it as it is a drawing process, or you can call it as a stretching process, where the orientation takes place, where the crystallization takes place. If you want to produce 100% crystalline fiber or 90% orientation, you have to give more stretch. Okay. See, here the solvent is getting evaporated. You can recover the solvent and again you can reuse for the dissolution purpose. Okay, wet spinning technology. Okay, so in wet spinning technology, a non-volatile solvent is used to convert the raw material into a solution. Okay, the solvent is extruded through the spinneret either by simply washing it out or by a chemical reaction between the polymer solution and a reagent in the spinning bath. Okay, so here you have to use the, okay, see already the polymer is in the form of solution. Okay, using some solvent, it is coming out. Okay, it is coming out, and here you have to use some coagulating agent. So the bath is called as coagulation bath. You have to use some chemicals in order to get the precipitation of the material. Once the filament is coming out from the spinneret, when it contacts with the coagulation bath, the coagulation bath contains many chemicals. So what is the purpose of this coagulating agent? In order to get precipitation in the material. Okay, so once the precipitation starts, the filament you can wind it. Okay, you can take out and you can wind it. So the solvent is extruded through the spinneret either by simply washing it out by a chemical reaction between the polymer solution and a reagent in the spinning bath. So after extrusion, what will happen? The solvent is removed in a liquid coagulation medium. Finally, the filament is immediately wounded onto the bobbin, or you can treat some other finishing agent. Depends upon the end use of the material, you can wind it out. So the best examples are lyocell fiber, viscose fiber, PVC fiber, spandex fiber, acrylic fiber, mod acrylic fibers. So these are all the fibers you can produce out of the wet spinning technology. So the advantages is large tows can be handled. Okay. So the main disadvantage is it is very slow production. Please look at the slide. 70 to 150 yards per minute. It is very slow speed. So the production rate is very slow when compared to the dry spinning technology, even when compared to the mill spinning technology. Then washing to remove impurities. So you have to wash the material to remove the impurities present in the filament. But this is not in case of dry spinning as well as in the case of mill spinning process. Okay. Then solvent and chemicals can be recovered. See, here we have used solvents. Here we have used so many chemicals in order to get precipitation of the fiber. So those chemicals can be recovered and you can reuse it for the next process. Similarly, whatever the solvent you have used for the dissolution, you can recover it and reuse it for the next process. So please look at the schematic diagram of the wet spinning technology. Okay, this is the spinning bath. So after the filaments are coming out, see the stretching process. I told you no, stretching, or you can call it as drawing process. So you can keep number of rollers. Here only I have mentioned shown 2 rollers, but you can keep number of rollers. So I think you have saw the video no for melt spinning. So there are so many rollers are involved in order to improve the crystalline region in the fiber or crystalline region in the filament. Then you have to wash. So what is the purpose of washing? To remove the impurities present in the filament. Then either you can directly bind it onto a bobbin, or you can give some sort of finish to the material. This finishing is not necessary. It again depends on the end use of the material. So in wet spinning technology, a non-volatile solvent is used to convert the raw material into a solution. Okay. The solvent is extruded through the spinnerate either by simply washing it out or by a chemical reaction between the polymer solution and a reagent in the spinning bath. Okay. So here you have to use the, okay, see already the polymer is in the form of solution. Okay, using some solvent, it is coming out. Okay, it is coming out, and here you have to use some coagulating agent. So the bath is called as coagulation bath. You have to use some chemicals in order to get the precipitation of the material. Once the filament is coming out from the spinnerate, when it contacts with the coagulation bath, the coagulation bath contains many chemicals. So what is the purpose of this coagulating agent? In order to get precipitation in the material. Okay. So once the precipitation starts, the filament you can bind it. Okay. You can take out and you can bind it. So the solvent is extruded through the spinnerate either by simply washing it out by a chemical reaction between the polymer solution and a reagent in the spinning bath. So after extrusion, what will happen? The solvent is removed in a liquid coagulation medium. Finally, the filament is immediately wounded onto the bobbin, or you can treat some other finishing agent. Depends upon the end use of the material, you can wind it out. So the best examples are lyocell fiber, viscose fiber, PVC fiber, spandex fiber, acrylic fiber, mod acrylic fibers. So these are all the fibers you can produce out of the wet spinning technology. So the advantages is large tows can be handled. Okay. So the main disadvantage is it is very slow production. Please look at the slide. 70 to 150 yards per minute. It is very slow speed. So the production rate is very slow when compared to the dry spinning technology, even when compared to the melt spinning technology. Then washing to remove impurities. So you have to wash the material to remove the impurities present in the filament. But this is not in case of dry spinning as well as in the case of melt spinning process. Okay. Then solvent and chemicals can be recovered. See, here we have used solvents. Here we have used so many chemicals in order to get precipitation of the fiber. So those chemicals can be recovered and you can reuse it for the next process. Similarly, whatever the solvent you have used for the dissolution, you can recover it and reuse it for the next process. So please look at the schematic diagram of the wet spinning technology. Okay, this is the spinning bath. So after the filaments are coming out, see the stretching process. I told you no, stretching, or you can call it as drawing process. So you can keep number of rollers. Here only I have mentioned shown 2 rollers, but you can keep number of rollers. So I think you have saw the video, no, for melt spinning. So there are so many rollers are involved. So in order to improve the crystalline region in the fiber or crystalline region in the filament, then you have to wash. So what is the purpose of washing? To remove the impurities present in the filament. Then either you can directly bind it onto your bobbin, or you can give some sort of finish to the material. This finishing is not necessary. It again depends on the end use of the material. Okay. Please look at the slide. What we discussed, there are 3 spinning technologies so far we have discussed. One is melt spinning technology. The second one is dry spinning technology. The third one is wet spinning technology. So please recall whatever the techniques or whatever the concepts I taught for the past half an hour. Please look at the slide, you can recall it. Okay. So this is the schematic representation of the melt spinning process. This is the schematic representation of the wet spinning process. Then this is the schematic representation of the dry spinning process. Okay. See, please, melt spinning, dry spinning, wet spinning. Please look at the figure and just to recall whatever the concepts I taught for the past 30 minutes. Okay. Polymer chips, solvent is getting evaporated, then solvent is recovering, and again you can reuse it. Here also wet spinning, the solvent coagulation, then solvent coagulation is separated, then you can recover the solvent and you can reuse it. Then whatever the chemicals you have used for the coagulation, you can recover it and reuse it. Then you can get the spun filament. Okay. Okay, now let us discuss a new spinning technology. Okay. So spinning of liquid crystal polymers. And the fibers which are produced under the liquid crystal polymers, that is the fibers, liquid crystal polymers, or how you can make it into a filament. So you have to use a gel spinning technology. So gel spinning technology is used for the production of liquid crystal filaments. Okay, gel spinning technology is used for the production of liquid crystal polymers or liquid crystal type of filaments. Then you should, so at the end of the lecture, you will be able to understand the properties of liquid crystal polymers. At the end of the lecture, then you will be able to explain the liquid crystal spinning, then define gel spinning process, write the reasons for succeed with polyethylene, describe the gel spinning process, analyze the various parameters influencing the quality. Okay, now let us start. So first let us see the introduction. What do you mean by liquid crystals? So liquid crystals can be made into polymers combining liquid crystal and polymer properties. Please see the slides very clearly. This polymer is having an entirely a different property. Okay. Combination of liquid crystals and the polymer properties. So the properties of plastic in nature, similarly sometimes rubbery in nature. So how the polymer it looks, plastic in nature as well as rubbery in nature, creates a material with unique characteristics. If you not understood the concept, I will show you a video, then you could come to know what do you mean by liquid crystals exactly. Okay. So to obtain high strength and high modulus fiber, select a polymer having a molecular structure in which the molecular chains are packed in a smaller cross-sectional area and having strong bonds and low elongation. Okay. So this polymer is having extraordinary strength. You may not even comparable with normal polyester fiber, and you may not even comparable with nylon. So this fiber is having extraordinary strength. So the fibers which are produced out of this gel spinning technology, you can use it as a bulletproof material. I told you at the beginning of the class. So there are fibers which you can call it as high performance fibers. Okay, so one such type of fiber is ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. Please make a note of it. Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. So there are fibers called polyethylene fiber, but this fiber is called as ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. So this fiber is used for the production of bulletproof material. So to obtain high strength and high modulus fiber, select a polymer is having molecular structure in which the molecular chains are packed in a smaller cross-sectional area and having strong bonds and low elongation property. So you have to select in such a way. Okay. So aromatic polymers comprising a highly symmetrical and rigid rod-like structures. So this type of polymers you can produce, or this type of polymers are acting as liquid crystal polymers, aromatic polymers. Okay. So how you can produce a filament from the liquid crystal polymers? So the properties of the liquid crystal polymers in order to make it into a filament form. So liquid crystals, how the liquid crystal should be? It should be flowable. Okay, it should be flowable and it should be anisotropic in nature and rotate freely in a liquid. Okay, so it should have many intermolecular interactions occur during this process. Orientation in the direction of flow. Then liquid crystal polymer is extruded through an orifice under a high shear stress. Its molecules orient to a high degree. So the oriented structure is almost maintained during solidification by cooling due to long relaxation process. So the following three processes are available for the production of liquid crystal polymer into a filament. Okay. So spinning of polymers having a comparatively low molecular weight, then spinning of high molecular weight polymer at a low temperature, higher the melting point, spinning of high molecular weight polymers at a temperature lower their molecular weight. So these are all the three processes are available for spinning liquid crystal polymers. Then what do you mean by gel spinning technology? So gel spinning technology means spinning method for high strength fibers. I told you this fiber is having extraordinary strength through a gel like state because the fiber is having a extraordinary property. Sometimes it acts as a plastic or sometimes it acts as a rubbery in nature. I will show you a video, then you will come to know how the liquid crystals behaves. Okay. See, the best example is, see, you are seeing TV, you are using laptops, you are using desktops. What you are calling? It is a liquid crystal display. That is LCD display. Now solra illaya Tamil la LCD display. What do you mean by LCD display? Liquid crystal display. So the display contains liquid crystal polymers. The best example is your TV screen, your laptop screen, or your desktop screen. Okay, LCD monitor. LCD monitor nu solluvom. What it contains? Liquid crystal display. That's all. So the reasons for succeeding with polyethylene, where எந்த ஃபைபரையுமே gel spinning technology la produce பண்ண முடியல. Why? The reason behind, I told you, gel spinning technology. Okay, இதுல வந்து polyethylene fiber மட்டும்தான் produce பண்ண முடிஞ்சது. The reasons are high tenacity and modulus among flexible polymers, then simple planar, that is zigzag chain structure without any bulk side groups, high crystallinity, then lack of high intermolecular weight polymerization, then availability of ultra high molecular weight polymerization, interaction between hydrogen bonding. Okay, so these are all the reasons why the polyethylene fiber is the only fiber you can produce filament using gel spinning technology. Okay, so these are all the various parameters are influencing during the production of the fiber. So one is degree of polymerization, yes, I told you ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. The fiber which is produced under gel spinning technology, no, you are using polyethylene. But what is the fiber out of produced ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber? So what will be the molecular weight of the polymer? Please look at the slide. 6 lakhs. The molecular weight of the polymer is 6 lakhs. So the reason is perfect orientation of all molecular chains support the draw force. Then these are all the other parameters, concentration and control of entanglement. You have to control these parameters, concentration of the solution and the entanglement. Then dissolution process. Okay, so you have to control all these parameters. Then only you can get good quality of the ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. Where this fiber is used? This fiber is used in the production of bulletproof material. Please keep it in your mind. So which fiber is used in the manufacturing of bulletproof material? Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. How this fiber is produced? This fiber is produced under gel spinning technology. Please keep all these points in your mind. Okay. So these are all the performance. Okay, these are all the properties of the fibers. See, please look at the property of the fiber. The density is 980 kilogram per meter cube. The tensile strength, okay, it has high tensile strength and high modulus with low density. So this is a very good property in the case of production of bulletproof material. So please look at the density is less than 1. Less than 1 means that numerical number 1. So this fiber will float on water. So tenacity is 110 to 15 times stronger than steel. Please make a note of it. How the fiber is, the tenacity of the fiber is 10 to 15 times stronger than your steel fiber. Okay. Then elongation at break, it is also very low. So the modulus of the fiber is 90 to 120 Newton per tex.
the thread for its web. Forces this liquid out through tiny holes called spinnerets. This makes a fine thread. Now, you know how silk is made.
Yes, we had that.
Well, then you know how the silkworm makes a fiber. Now, we make this rayon fiber in somewhat the same way. Rayon begins as wood. The first step is to break up logs into pulp. This is done here at a pulp mill. In this mill, the wood is chopped up and cooked. It comes out looking like this. Here. Here's a piece of wood pulp. This is still wood, though it looks like blotting paper. Now this goes to the rayon mill, where they put it into tanks. The pulp comes to the mill in large sheets. They put these sheets into a tank. Then they fill the tank with a chemical. After the pulp is soaked in this bath for a while, they squeeze out some of the chemical, and it's ready for the next step. They take it out, and drop it down through a hole to the floor below. The pulp drops right down into a shredder. when the pulp comes out, it's broken up into fluffy crumbs. And if we look inside, we can see the turning paddles that do the work. Now the crumbs go down a chute into a room where they age for a couple of days. Then from the aging room, the crumbs drop into another machine. This is something like a churn. In these, the crumbs are thoroughly churned together with another chemical called carbon disulfide. When it comes out of this churn, it's no longer wood pulp, but something different. We have some of it here. See here? Now the next step is to dissolve this in another chemical. Quickly becomes a thick liquid like this. Now we're ready to make it into a fiber. he's putting the spinneret down into the acid bath. And here's the fiber forming. The liquid is forced out through the holes in the spinneret to form these filaments. The filaments are drawn together into a single fiber. And this is twisted into a strand of rayon yarn. It goes down into this box. These men are taking cakes of yarn out of the machine. They call this doffing. Whenever enough yarn has been wound into a box, they open it up and take out the cake. A full cake of rayon yarn, ready to be washed and dried, woven into cloth. Does that tell you how we make cloth from wood, John?
Yes, it gives me a pretty good idea. Say, Mr. Norton, we make cloth from coal too, don't we? Is that the same thing?
Cloth from coal? Well, not quite. Here's a piece of a cloth we make from coal and other things. It's called nylon.
But how can a soft thing like this come from a hard thing like a piece of coal?
Well, boys, it's a long story. But it does begin with coal. Just ordinary coal from the mine. This goes get used to those names when you use them every day. Now, these chemicals make nylon. First, we mix them together in a little water. This makes a liquid we call nylon salt. Now at the nylon plant, this liquid is made in large tanks. Then it is piped into an evaporating tank. Here some of the water is boiled away. Next, it is piped into a room full of large bubbles that are something like pressure cookers. The cookers are controlled by the instruments on this panel. And this man is starting to cook a batch. He has it ready in this vessel. Here it cooks under heat and pressure. This causes an important chemical change. The nylon comes out of the bottom of the cooker a single strand of nylon yarn. The strands are wound on large bobbins, and here's a full bobbin of bright, silky nylon yarn. But now, before this can be made into cloth, it has to be stretched. See how we can stretch it? This stretching gives it strength and true elasticity. Now, a lot of this nylon yarn is used for stockings, you know. Stockings are made on the knitting machines in a hosiery mill. This machine knits a number of stockings at a time. The machine has rows of needles. There. He's straightening one of the needles now. Now the machine is knitting again. See how the nylon threads move in and out and back and forth among the needles. The machine knits a stocking in a broad, flat strip. To make a finished stocking, these strips have to be sewn up, and that's just what they sewed the sides of a strip together. Now it looks like a stocking. The stockings are dyed, they are put on forms and heated for a time. This sets them in the proper shape.
So don't expect to get a final or useful product. Brian is a manufacturer regenerated cellulose fiber. Since it's produced from natural occurring polymers, this neither synthetic fiber nor a natural one. This is a semi-synthetic fiber. There are three or more methods to make it, but just one is available alone. Cupramonium Ryan. Warning. Sodium hydroxide is corrosive. Ammonia's fumes are toxic. Please wear gloves and work outside or in fumes. Let's start with this solution. Very cold distilled water, about 60 millimeters for each beaker. In the first one on the left, put about 8 grams of copper sulfate pentahydrate, while in the second one on the right, 4 grams of anhydrous sodium hydroxide. Now mix the both are completely dissolved. If you've got a magnetic stirrer, it's better. Since I don't have it, I'm using a glass pipette. Working fast, add the sulfate solution to the other one. A precipitate of copper hydroxide forms instantly. This is the reaction. CuSO4 plus 2NaOH becomes CuOH2 plus Na2SO4. After filtrate with a paper filter the hydroxide and put it into a larger beaker full of ice. In fact, it is important to keep copper hydroxide cold for the next step, or it will decompose into copper oxide unuseful for this reaction. Now, add about 50 millimeters of 30% concentrated ammonia. Copper hydroxide dissolves into ammonia to form the D-blue color complex called Schweizer's reagent. CuNH3 OH2. This complex is able to solve cellulose. After the passage, put some paper into the coproammonium complex and then mix. The blue liquid will become something like a jelly. It means it's ready for the next step. Into a large container with a solution of 5-10% sulfuric acid and mix it with water. Then with the syringe with a needle, take a part of the jelly and make it form squares upon the acid bath. Ryan forms instantly. If you're gonna get more fine wires, pull the needle to the syringe after you charge it, or it will block. As you can see, Ryan appears like small blue lavas. It's pretty cool to touch it and to play with it. The wires are plastic and soft, and they break very easily. Wash the Ryan fibers obtained with water. The color will pass from blue to white. Let it dry, and now you have coproammonium Ryan. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching.